What's up, kinfolk? Back home in Tennessee. Uh, just want to get back on here and talk a little bit more about the Philippines because, I can't say how much I love this place enough. Uh, the people here are freaking fantastic. Uh, Dayton is good. You know, it's uh, it's just a great place to live, man. You're free to do whatever. I mean, you don't have to carry a gun like you do in America everywhere you go. You know, make sure your doors are locked. I mean, I've left this apartment, left the door unlocked. Like, you know, never knock on wood. I mean, I've never had anything, come up young. So, yeah, I was trying to record a video earlier, Roselle Park. I was over there cooling off, drinking my buku, and they was Well, actually, my ex, she called and we had a decent conversation, and that's what I've been trying to get out of her, for the past couple of days. She actually came by yesterday, and it's hard, man. Breakups are hard, so I just wish that she puts everything on social media, or if we have an argument, she puts it all, calls her entire family, up in Cebu, and it's like, blah 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 blah, and I know she's young, and she's not really got a whole lot of dating experience, but you know, she's got a bad temper. Like, this girl's got a crazy temper, like we all probably do, for the most part. And you push us far enough, and you're gonna see it. Uh, but I've been trying to just have a decent conversation with her because she's thinking that I'm with this other girl. She's thinking all wrong. Really, is what what she's in. I feel bad about the whole situation because it all could have been avoided. I've been with this girl the whole time, other than like 2 weeks that I've been in the Philippines. I've been with the same girl. Uh, so I love her. I can't not love her. Love her family. Her family's great. Her dad, her mom, her sister. You know, little nephew. Like, I just love the whole family. So it's hard. So I'm trying to, you know, trying to see what's going to happen. Because I know my current situation's not looking like it doesn't look like what it is, actually. Um, it looks different. Um, but, I can't, all this could have been prevented with, you know, really her not video chatting a guy like at 3 a.m. in the morning, with me laying there in bed, so uh, that's really what flipped my switch. And I told her to get out, you know. I mean, I'm not going to be that good to somebody, uh, and then they call it, the Filipinos out here call it cheating. If you're even one message to any other girl, you're cheating. No, not in our culture. Matter of fact, my best friend, shout out to you, Kelly, uh, if you're watching this, but she's a girl, woman, and I mean, hell, we was best friends. We've been best friends for years, And she tells me about her guy problems. I tell her, when I was, any problems I got, and she's just a good ear, And I got more girlfriends over there too. That's straight up friends. And you think that you can have that here in the Philippines, but you're dead wrong. Like, you're not going to be able to date a Filipina and uh, girls on Facebook message you, or in my situation, I told a friend of mine, which he's national police. I told him, hey man, I called her on this dating app. I don't really know what to do. And he's like, oh man, I got this girl. She's single, and she'd probably make you a good asawa. And I said, well, I can't do anything like Kay's still living here, uh, so I really can't do anything. And it's just crazy. Like everything could have been avoided if I guess if Kay would have been more serious. She didn't have to be on no dating app. She had a good guy right here paying all the bills, feeding her. But none of that counts. You give them 10K for college, oh, that don't count. That's nothing. Well, if it's nothing, then why didn't you have the 10K? That's the way I look at it. If it's nothing, then why ain't you paying half the bills? If it's nothing, but, being a man, I don't mind it. It's just crazy, man. It's just, it makes no sense. Like, if you got a good guy, and he's here in the Philippines, like, it's not like I'm, uh, uh, well, lost my train of thought there for a second. It's not like I'm over in America. It's not like I'm, uh, you know, uh, over there uh, doing video chats and all that stuff, which is fine. Having an LDR is fine, which is a long distance relationship, but ain't nothing like being next to your woman. You know, going out to eat or just cooking together or eating together. Like I said, me and Kay, we've been together pretty much ever since I've been here. And so, yeah, that breakup's kind of hard, you know. Uh, and she just thinks that I'll just, move right on. And that's not even the case. So, anyway, it is what it is. If we work it out, I don't know. I really, at this point, I'm just trying to have a decent conversation, be friendly, cordial. Because, like I said, there's feelings there, and you don't lose them feelings overnight. And even though she's acted like she doesn't love me, when she came here yesterday, I found out she most certainly loves me, and she's in love with me. It's not just, and that's the way it should be. That's exactly the way it should be. But she got upset and didn't want to talk and just wanted to leave. And you can't run. You can run for so long, but you either got to face the music and talk. If you want to work things out, you got to talk. You have to communicate. Communication is key to anything. So it's we'll see. But man, I met this great tricycle driver. Like today, I was like, hey man, I said, you take me over here. And he was like, I told him where I live, and he was like, let's go. Just like yelled it out. I was like, okay, man. Like his enthusiasm was just off the hook, man. And uh, then he's asking me, where are you from? And I'm like, United States, and then Tennessee. And we was talking about the differences between America and the Philippines, uh, just on the ride back over here to my place. And like I said, I tried the video there, but man, they broke out speakers and microphones, and they was doing all kinds of crazy stuff over there. They do these dances, you know, it's like group dances. I don't know what it's for. Couldn't tell you, but there'll be at any given day there'll be at least 4, 5, 6 groups of 10 to 20 people lined up. It's kind of like a cheer. Like we would think of it in America as almost like a cheerleading dance, something. That's really what it reminds me of, like some kind of like cheerleading dance, but they're not flipping them up in the air and doing all that. It's just more arms, legs, and But they take it serious, man. They really do. It's amazing. I don't want to live anywhere else. And now that I've been here, I sure don't want to live in America. And I'll be first to tell you, I don't want to live in America. They've run that place straight into the ground. You know, and it don't matter who's in there. They're all crooks. They're all part of uh, the groups that the normal folks ain't. Let's just put it like that. They so it's I'm happy to be here. Really, I'm very happy. I'm very blessed to be here. I know the Lord led me here for a reason, and it's been great, man. It's been other than a couple months in the hospital. That sucked. So I've spent altogether probably 90 days or something like that in the hospital in the last uh, 9-10 months. So it's been a pretty rough year as far as my body goes, man. Between my leg, my ribs, my both legs actually, both legs, my rib broke 6 ribs, broke my right fibula, got a titanium rod permanently installed into my bone. Uh, had stitches, all that mess from a work accident, back home. So, but the good Lord still got me here. I know I still got purpose, and I just love being here, man. I'm telling you, like, if you're on the bubble, you're on the fence, and you're thinking about it, man, don't listen to nobody. Like, if you want to come, just come. See for yourself. I mean, that's the best way. I didn't know nobody. Well, I had an LDR for 9 months, but then when I got here, I found out she wasn't. It was she had a boyfriend up in General Santos. You know, and so I found out all that stuff and broke up with her, and it wasn't a few nights, a couple nights. I don't know. I don't even think it was a week later. Might have been a week. And then me and Kay started talking, and we've been together ever since. So, uh, she's just extremely, and I think all Filipinas are extremely jealous. Uh, I think that they don't want, they damn sure don't want you talking to any other Filipinas because their thing is, oh, these other Filipinas are going to try to get with you. And honestly, the ones that's talked to me, even on Facebook, none of them, not one, has tried to uh, assert themselves on me or toward me or anything. They just curious, and they're all curious. They're all nosy. You call them back home, we call them nosy people, but they're just very curious people. I have people stop me on the street. Hey, excuse me, sir, what happened to your leg? What happened? Are you okay? Is your leg? I mean, these people are caring, loving. Uh, man, it's such a change from America. And not saying they ain't loving, caring people in America, but it's just totally different. And like I said, the dating in America sucks. I mean, them women is. I'll eventually I'll be married uh, to my Filipina, and that's going to be it. That'll be the last time I ever get married, and we'll have a family. And I'm going to build us a house. And we're just going to live a life. Nothing fancy, but I at least want to leave them a house and make sure that they're set up here. Um, you know, God forbid, whenever I get called home. So, uh, but hopefully it'll be a long time. Hoping when I get back from Tennessee, I'm gonna start doing uh, some travel vlogs, like going around this beautiful island that I'm on right now, showing you the waterfalls, showing you the. Right now, it's just been me talking because of my leg. Not really much I can do. I give my doc my motorcycle, which I could probably ride it now, but I don't know about for how long. So maybe I can get my leg fixed when I'm in the States. I can get this business handled, and come back over here. Just like I'll be ready to come back, but I really don't even want to leave. That's how bad it is. I don't want to leave, you know. So, unless there's a gigantic earthquake or just something, that they shut down all the airports, But if not, I've got to go back to get this handled. And even the attorney that I called, he's like, "Hey man, I'll take your case." And I've done had two quit, and both of them's quit because I've been here in the Philippines. So this one's like, "Look, I'll take your case. You got a good case." He's like, "But I've got to see you in person. Like, you have to come back." And I said, "Okay, man. Like, that's all I need to hear. Like, if you'll take my case up, because if I could get an attorney to take my case, I wasn't coming back. I mean, it's all about money anyway. Even though I about lost my life last year, so I think they should pay me something. Something good. Because that's probably the closest I've cheated death in my entire life. Uh, was when I got blown off that platform. So, uh, yeah, it's terrible. But, you know, God's good, man. God is good. And no matter how evil this world's become, man, keeps you faith, and it'll rattle. I mean, your faith's going to get rattled anyway, just because of the evil times we're living in. But you just keep your faith, keep praying, asking the Lord for healing, and it'll come, and that's just like if you want a baby, you want a family, you want this, you ask the Lord and He'll give you, so. And I honestly think that He give me, you know, who I'm supposed to be with, it's just, I don't know what happened that it just happened so fast, It's just dating app one night, less than a week later, I get woke up in the middle of the night because of a message from Ryan to me about and pictures of his friend, and then she's like, "You're cheating, you're cheating." I'm like, "No, I'm not cheating. Like, I'm with you 24/7. How the heck can I be cheating?" It's just makes in America, in our culture, that's not cheating. Cheating is when you physically go out, touch, uh, you know, whatever you do, but that's cheating. Uh, so to me, I wasn't cheating at all. Uh, but like I said, different cultures, they're very jealous type women. Um, it's just something that you gotta learn for yourselves, because I've watched 4 years of vlogs before I ever made the move out here, and nobody ever said anything about them being jealous, or don't be talking to no other, nothing like that. So if you don't want to argue, just stay off social media. But she's all about social media. Like, she's called me up today. "Oh, that one video went viral." I don't care. I don't care if any of my, I don't, I do these videos really just talking to my family back home. Like, if anybody likes them, you like them. If you don't, I don't care. It means nothing to me. I'm sure you're gonna like my travel vlogs a whole lot better than me just sitting here talking, because then you'll get to see what I get to see. And I already got places picked out to make some cool videos, So I just got to get better. And unfortunately, I have to go back. Unfortunately, I have to go back. But I promise, as soon as I get my business handled, and I mean as soon, I'll be on the next flight back to the Philippines. Because to me, this is my home now. You know what I mean? I spent 8 months here, going on 9 months, and I don't want to live nowhere else on the planet, you know. And I ain't saying, I ain't been to Thai. I need to go to Thailand. I need to go to Vietnam, but I still don't think I'd live there. I think right here is, but I'd probably live there in Thailand or Vietnam before I'd want to move back to America. If that'll tell you anything, that's how much America's changed. The drugs, not just the drugs, but man, the corruption, the FBI, the government corruption. Like everybody's just thinking that there's something and there's somebody, and we're, if you're just a regular citizen and you're just a peon, and they can do whatever. They're above the law, but you're below the law, and then spraying the skies with aluminum and barium and oxide and all this other crazy mess that they've just been taking part of. Like if it's not Mystery Babylon, I'd be real surprised. I'd be real surprised if America is not Mystery Babylon. So uh, I guess we'll see. You know what I mean? Like I don't care either way. I just know that I found me a new home. It stays warm out here. Weather's great. It's either raining, and it's raining and hot. If you can deal with that, then you're good to go. You know what I mean? So sorry I've been on here rambling for a little bit too long, but sometimes you gotta talk, get this off your chest. So, and I'm sure we'll sit down and have a talk and see where it goes from there. You know what I mean? That's all I can do really. But I hope everybody back home is having fun. I'll be back. I'm shooting for maybe another 30 days. So I'll see you guys then. Y'all take care. God bless.